Hello, Julie here, and thank you for joining me here today. I'm going to be creating some artist trading coins for a swap over at Be Inspired Paper Inspirations. I'll put a link to their Facebook page in the description box below if you want to go and have a look. Now, I have used my Spellbinders standard large circles and standard small circles, and I've used the three largest ones from each set. So I've got circles that range from 2.5 inches to about 3 3/4 inches. I think the largest one is. Is that the largest one? That one. So yeah, 3 3/4 inches. Now I've cut 2 of each size, and I have used a masterboard that I created in a video, and I'll put that link to that video down below. So I've cut the circles from that. I've cut 12 of them, and then for the backs, in 6 of them I've got book paper, and the other 6 I've got some pianola paper. I just bought this pianola paper recently and I wanted to try it, so that will be for the journaling. With the book paper, I'm going to just wipe over that with some gesso, and that will ready that for someone to write on the back. So that's what I've done so far. Then I took them all to my sewing machine, stitched around the edge. Some of them have got a bit of zigzag on them, some of them are just straight stitching all the way around. So now I'm going to use my distressing tool and distress the edges of each one. I'll just do a small one. So I'm going to just lightly distress the edges. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to leave those sewing threads, long threads on there, or whether I'm going to cut them off completely or just shorten them a little bit. And then I'm going to use my vintage photo and my sponge to just ink around the edge of them all, just to give that a little bit of a finishing touch. So I'll do that for both sides. I probably should do the gesso before I do the inking. So that I'm going to do that for each of my coins. Now I will do some gesso one. I'll just find my gesso. There we go. Okay, so I've just got some gesso here, and it's nearly empty. I've got a new one. I'm just going to use one of these silicone brushes and just add a little bit of gesso to that, and then just scrape that over the back so that it sort of tones that text down. Doesn't have to completely dull it off. I mean, it doesn't have to completely blank it out, but that is good enough now that you can write on that without having too much trouble reading it. Okay, so I'm going to do that to all of my coins, and when they're all ready I will come back to you. So here are my coins, and so I've got 2 of each size. They've all got the masterboard on the front. These have got book page with gesso over it. These have got pianola paper. So I have got 12 of them here all together, an assortment. And now I'm going to start thinking about how I'm going to decorate them. I don't plan on having them as a set. I think that I might just do each one individually. And so I'm going to have a bit of a poke around, see what I've got that I can start to decorate with, and when I've got that sorted I'll come back to you. Now, to embellish my coins, I'm going to do something that I saw Sue from Paper Inspirations do on a video, and she put a little eyelet in a label and then covered it with Glossy Accents. So that's what I'm going to do with some of these, and then I can hang them from my little coins. So I'm going to use my crocodile to do that. Put a hole in there, then get one of these small eyelets. So these are the tiny ones, and I need to change this because I normally use the bigger ones. And so one, so I've adjusted that down to the small eyelets now, and I'm going to put that in there and then close that over. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Glossy Accents. So, Glossy Accents. I haven't used this for a long time, so it's probably got the hole blocked up. And now I'm just going to cover that. And then we end up, when this dries, of course, it will be nice and clear, and it will be glossy, and it will be a little bit dimensional. When I saw Sue make these, I thought it was such a great idea. So I'm going to do that for more of my labels. I probably won't do all of those, but yeah, so once you've got to this stage, you just set them aside and let them dry. Just move that out of the way. Put that up there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with a few more of these, and then when I've done that, I'll come back to you. Okay, so I couldn't stop myself and I kept going, and I did all of those labels, and so now they're all sitting ready and waiting to be dried. So I'm going to set these aside to dry and go on with something else. Now my discs, I've got a stencil, and I'm going to just stencil a bit on each one of these. I'm going to use Vintage Photo to start with, and I'm not doing it all over, just here and there, and I'm just doing it on the front, and I don't really see too much happening there, so I'm going to try using a finger dauber. I might be able to get in better with that, so let's try that on here. My ink pad may have run out of juice. That's better. Okay. As I said, I'm not going to be doing this all over, just here and there. I don't really know what decorations or embellishments I'm going to put on here as yet, so I'm just going willy-nilly wherever I think. Just a little bit of something in the background, not even all that dark. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for these other ones, and when I finish that I'll come back to you. Now I've done this many with the stencil, and I decided that I wanted to add some texture paste, so I'm going to use this modelling paste and the same stencil and just put a bit of that through the stencil. It is white, so that might not be a good thing, but as I said, I'm not going to cover each one. I'm just going to put some here and there. So that's just, as you can see, giving it a little bit of texture. I like it. Good. Just sort of cleaning up the stencil a bit here more than anything else, so there we go. Alright, so now they'll need to be set aside to dry as well. So I'll let everything dry and then I'll come back to you. Oh, this stencil, by the way, is, I think, it's a Kaisercraft stencil, and it comes in a 12 by 12 size, and it's got 4 different patterns, but I don't know what the name of it is. I could look it up if anyone's interested. If you want to know, just leave me a comment and I'll check it out for you. Okay, be back soon. Okay, so I've got all of my discs here now, and texture paste is dry on them. They're all ready to go, so I'm going to start to decorate them. I have not got a plan, or there's no set or anything like that, so I'm just going to start. I've got some avocado dyed paper here, and I'm just going to stick pieces of that on various places. I will ink the edges. I've just pulled out stuff that I think might be appropriate sizes for these small circles, for the range of circles anyway. And I'm going to just start by adding some pieces of background, I guess you could call it, some grounding paper. These will support my embellishments that are added here. Probably going to stick more to the bottom area of my circles. Anything that's got a text on it will have to be up the right way. Doesn't have to be, I suppose, but I prefer it to be. So I'm not going to do the same thing on all of them. I'm just going to do bits and pieces. Line it through there. This one here, probably not going to put avocado dyed something on that because it's not really the right pink, but I might put something on this one. Did I have another piece? Yes, here we go. I'm also trying to make sure that I mix up the sizes. I don't want, you know, all the same size to have all the same sort of embellishments on them. It's got text there. Some of these mood or mother, what are they called? Masterboards. Some of the papers on them are see-through, so you can see the texture and the background through them, which is quite nice. Well, this green one needs a bit more colour on it, I think, so we'll have a piece of this on there. I didn't ink this one, so I better do that before I stick it down. Some people are not inkers. I do like to ink, but it's not compulsory. I'm going to overlap that one like so. Actually, I'm going to move that because I'm going to put it on the other side. We'll let a bit of this texture paste show through a little bit more, and it will help to break up that green because it's quite a large piece of green on that. Then I'll just trim that off at the back. Okay, so what else can we add for something a bit different to the background? So what about if we, already got a background, so let's say these here, we want to add maybe something like this tag here, so could put something like that on there. Now I wonder whether, well, there's no reason I couldn't trim that off, so I'm going to just, these are printables and I haven't kept a record of where they're from, which is my bad. I have to start doing that. So I'm sort of tossing up how I'm going to store my things. I made some booklets, some embellishment booklets, which is this type of thing. And it's got plastic pockets inside of it with my embellishments inside, but I probably need to find something where I can store full sheets of printed embellishments, and so thereby keep the name of the person I got the printable from. No, not real keen on that. I have got these sticker books. I'm not sure if I got these in a kit from Paper Inspirations or where, but what about something like that? I think they're stickers. Is it stickers? Deco stickers. So yes, it's a sticker. Oh, well, you have to have the whole thing. I don't want the white background. Yeah, so Sue Harbort at Paper Inspirations has a monthly mystery kit, and I have bought a couple of those, and I think some of these stickers might have been in that, one of those, or I may have ordered them online. As I said, I have not got a good enough memory to be able to remember where I got all these things from, so I need some sort of system that enables me to know where they came from. There we go. Yes, well, with the sticker, they're sort of like a vellum sticker, aren't they? So they're not solid and you can see through them quite a bit. That's let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, what about that? Oh, that's a nice one. I'll have a go with that one. Okay, so I'm going to put some sort of background onto all of these. So I'll put this on fast forward and I'll come back to you when I've got those sorted. Okay, so I've attached something to each one. Some of them have got stickers. This is just a tag, one of these. A ticket on that one. Yeah, another sticker. So now I have some washi tape and I'm going to attach just a little bit of washi tape to each circle. I'm going to cut that piece off because it's... Now, I'm just going to tear this. I don't want a solid piece, and generally I will add some glue to the back of the washi because in my experiences washi tape doesn't always stay in place. So I'm just going to add a little bit of washi tape to each one. Now basically similar to that all the way through. Some will have thicker washi than others. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do this on all of the little circles, and when I have finished them all I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so I have put the basis for each of my coins down. So I've used washi tape and paper on that one, washi tape, paper and texture paste on that one. I've got a sticker on this one with some washi tape and some texture paste, some torn avocado dyed paper, some washi tape, so a ticket and some washi tape, another sticker and some washi tape. This one is just some avocado dyed paper and some washi. I've got a couple of different types of washi on there. Avocado, some brown washi. This one's got a cardstock tag and some washi, and of course that one's got the texture paste as well. This one's got a sticker, washi and texture paste. This one's got avocado dyed paper, some texture paste and some washi, and this one's got a sticker, washi tape and texture paste. So now what I'm going to do is decorate each one. So we've got our foundation, and now I'm going to start thinking about what I want to add to these to decorate them. So this is the hard part for me. I don't really... I've got some of these stickers. I don't know whether they're stickers or not. Anyway, I've got some flowers. So we can add some flowers on these. I want quite a large one for this. Actually, there's a nice flower. And I'm thinking that I'd like something a bit plain behind that. So let me go and have a bit of a look around for some more embellishment type things, and I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, so for this one I'm going to add this piece of lace across here. And then I'm going to add this die cut leaf. I've cut it in pearlised gold cardstock, I just got it out of my scraps jar. I've got a little jar sitting over there that I put bits and pieces in as I cut them and don't need them, and this piece was in amongst it, so I thought I would add this. As I said, this is not going to be a set, it's just going to be an assortment, so that can go on there like so. And I'll get a acrylic block to put on top so that I can apply a bit of pressure to that to make it stick. Because I'm going through the lace, it's a bit hard to get everything to stay in one place. So that's that one. Now I've also cut a few doilies, so I've got like a big doily that is like this, and I thought I might use one of those on one of the coins. But what am I going to put on top of it? Now I was thinking that I could add this on there. But it does get a bit lost, but it does blend in nicely with that green there. So what do you think? Let's have a look at another one. Let's say this one here. I've got a little collection here that I thought might look nice on one of these. So I've got a little tag, a stamp, and a little piece of whatever. So I was wondering whether I want to put a bit of cheesecloth behind it or a bit more of that lace. I've got some more of that lace here. That lace probably, that goes behind that. That's the same colour as that, so I might do that. So let's see. I want it to go right across. Why don't I just have, yeah, I'll just do that. I'm just going to put the lace across there. Push it up a little higher so I can still see that washi tape there. Then I'm going to punch the hole in this tag. And ink around the edge of it. Stick that on there. Like so. Maybe if I put that there, yes, so I'm going to ink around the edge of this stamp. And stick that down. That way a little. And then perhaps pop that down there like so. That is like so. Now, I'm not quite sure whether we're allowed to have things hanging over the edges or not. Not sure. So what I think I might do is I'm going to trim these strings up a little so that they're a bit neater. Leave some string on there, and I'm going to leave that poking out like that. So I'm going to call that one So I'm going to call that one done. That's one. Now this one here, I think I'm going to put a hole in this up here, and I'm going to, I've got some ring reinforcements. I purchased these from Paper Inspirations. I'm going to put one of those around there, one around the back, like so. Okay, so I'm going to just ink around the edge of that, make sure we've got a nice covering of ink, and around the back. I'm going to trim off the paper that's overhanging. Ouch. So that will need to be re-inked there. Got out these strings hanging out here. And I think I might trim that lace down on that one. Okay, so that's two done. Okay, so I've gathered up some embellishments for my coins, and now I'm going to start attaching them to my circles. Now, I've got a bit of an assortment of things. So for this one, I've got a piece of cheesecloth. Gather that up a little bit. Then I've got a couple of these die cut. These are cut from magazine paper using a Holts die. I'm not sure of the name of it. I did pre-cut these. I had a session where I cut a whole heap, and just to use as I need them. This is not a good start. I've got fingers covered in glue. The good thing about cutting these from magazine paper is you get two sides to choose from. For this particular one, I'm going for the darker side. I'm going to pop that up a little bit higher. And then to put on top of that, I've got an acetate butterfly. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue under the print, hoping that that will be enough to hold it in place. And that will just go on top of all of that. Put that aside to dry with the block on top, just to hold it down a fraction. Now, this one here, I've got a label. So all of the paper or card embellishments, I will ink the edge off. That one I've already done. So I'm going to attach this at the top. Oops. Make sure I've got it going up the right way. Like so. And then I've got a postage stamp. That's going to go up there. Then I've got a little tattered flower, and I'm going to attach that. This was part of a whole doily, and I've just cut the separate flowers off to use individually. Just going to pop that down there so that it overlaps all of that. Now, because I'm using art glitter glue, it shouldn't take that long to dry, so I can rotate them through that block. Now I need to get baby white, which seemed to have gone astray. Oh, here we go. It's a very gluey job. Next, so this one here, I've got some lace, which I will attach through the middle. So that's going over the tag that I've already put in there. Got some glue there. Turn that over like that for a moment, and I'm just going to ink around the edges of this flower. This is fussy cut from, I think it's a Uniquely Creative pattern paper. Can't remember the range at the moment, the name of the paper range, but that's going to go on there, and this one I've already inked around the edge of it. So let's turn that over now. We should be right. That's just going to go on there like so, and then this will go behind it. So I'll stick this one down first. Pop that in there. Take it mostly out to the edge there. And then some glue on this one. Now these are for a swap, so I'm going to leave the lace overhanging the edge on that, and the person that gets them can decide whether they want to trim that up or not. There we go. Now this one here, I have another piece of gauze or cheesecloth, whatever you prefer to call it, same thing. I've sort of stretched it a bit out of shape. I haven't got a lot of it on there, I just for a little bit of texture. And I have this label. Now, which way is up? I think that's the right way. I'm going to just pop that in there. And then this little flower that is part of a lace. I've just cut the flower out individually. And I'm going to pop that down just there. Now this one here, we have a little label. These are a printable label. I'm not sure who they're from. They could be from Tracy Fox, I'm not sure. And I'm going to pop that down there, and then I have a little acetate butterfly that's going to just go on there like so. Once again, I'm going to try to get the glue behind the parts that have colour. In this case that's not very hard, and just pop that down there like that. Now we have this one, which has got another one of those little doily florals that I've cut off of my doily, and a label. This label is from the same set as the previous label. I've printed this onto some quite sturdy paper. It's not really cardstock, but it's way thicker than your normal paper. I'm just going to pop that there, and then this I'm going to add my glue to. I don't know whether I should be using Fabri-Tac for this, or whether this art glitter glue is good for fabric. Probably should be using the Fabri-Tac, but I never thought of it until now, so one good thing about the art glitter glue, it does grab quite quickly, so you don't have to hold it in place for long. Okay, this one is a little bit out of the norm. I've got a little rabbit here. I'm not quite sure where I got this from. As a matter of fact, I haven't got any idea where I got it from. And another one of those die cut foliage, and a piece of lace. So let's run the lace across there. So we'll still be able to see our layers underneath the lace. We've got our avocado dyed paper and washi tape there. Then I'm going to add this fussy cut, or die cut should I say, not fussy cut. Oh, that would be a chore. Certainly not for use by anyone that doesn't like getting glue on their fingers, that's for sure. And then we'll stick the little rabbit on. I don't know who this is going to at this stage, so I'm making it fairly, the decorations on here fairly generic. And the group that is having this, I'm fairly new to that group too, so I'm not really up to date with the individual likes and dislikes of the members. So hopefully, because they're fairly neutral, as in mostly botanic and nature, they will be acceptable. So we've only got 3 to go. This one is a little ticket. A postage stamp. And a acetate flower. We do tend to hide a lot of the stuff that is underneath, but I guess the fact that we know it's there and little bits and pieces peek out make it worthwhile. So there's no fabric, type things on that one. No lace or paws or little flowers like this. So with this one I've got a tag. I'll punch the hole in the tag and ink around the edge of that, including that hole. I'll do the back of this one because I think it's going to hang over a little bit. And I'll leave it hanging over so that the person that receives it has the option of either trimming it back or leaving it on. So I'm going there. And I've got this little die cut piece. I'll go for the green side. And then the little flower down the bottom here. And our last one, I've got a little piece of acetate that I've done some heat embossing on. That's a leftover, so I thought I'd just add that to there. So that's stamped and heat embossed with white embossing powder. And then I'm going to add this acetate butterfly. That over that, like so. So that they are all 12 decorated, but I'm going to still add some things to these. I have got those. So I've got okay. Now remember I made those little these. I'm going to now add some of those to these so that they just hang off. It's very handy having this piece of foam to set them aside to dry on. Okay, so this one here, I've already punched a hole in it, so I'm going to add, say, that one to that. You can see, I don't know whether you can see that or that well, but they've got a nice gloss to them. So I'm thinking that I might add that. I've got a bit of brown ribbon here, and I might just tie those two together. So poke that through there, and then through there. And then tie these. Easier said than done, isn't it? Need another pair of hands, so I've got some reverse tweezers here, and I'll hold that in place with those, and then I'll pull this up to it. Okay, so now we can have that hanging down there, or we can pull it up there. We can have it basically sitting wherever we like. Okay, now this one here, we might do one on here as well. And we want a little one for this one, so what about that? Don't really want red, I don't think. About that. Yep. So I'm going to punch a hole in here. Put some ring reinforcers on it. Okay, and I think for this one I might use some, I've got some crochet cotton or some baker's twine. Could run this through, put some ink on it to tone it down a little bit. I'm just running my blending tool over it just to tone the white down a bit. I'm not looking for an all over coverage. And then I'll pop that through there. Now, is that the one I want to put on there? A little bit, I think I might like a little bit bigger. Not that big, maybe that one. Or I want a bit of colour. Maybe that. Or maybe that. What about a triangular one? Yeah. Let's try that one. Pack that through there. And this one, I'm giving myself a bit more string on this, so I don't have to worry so much. So there we go. It might be a bit too long actually. That's better. That is better. Trim those off, so there's just a little bit on there. That will be just hanging on there like that. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more of these, and then when I've done that, I'll come back to you and show you the completed discs. Okay, so I've completed my artist trading coins now, and I'll just give you a quick run through. So this one has got a sticker, some die cut leaves, some cheesecloth, and a acetate butterfly, and I'll just trim those threads off a little. So that's one. This one here has got some cheesecloth. Of course we've got the paper and the washi tape in the background. We've got a label, cheesecloth, and a little applique flower. This one has got a ticket, some washi tape there, some acetate there that's got white heat embossing on it, and a acetate butterfly. Piece of cotton stuck up behind the butterfly, so get that out of there and trim that off. Now the person that gets these can of course trim anything down that they want to. This one here is a little bit of avocado dyed paper, washi tape, a label, and an acetate butterfly. They all of course have the, this one's got the stenciling with the ink in the background. They've all got the roughed up edges, and they're all backed. Some of them are backed with a pianola paper, and some of them are backed with book paper that I've gone over with gesso so that it's easier to write on. Now this one here has washi tape, a tag, a bit of lace, fussy cut flower and leaves. This has got the texture paste on the background through the stencil. This one has the avocado dyed paper, washi tape, a bit of lace through the middle, die cut foliage, and a little bunny. Might be handy if someone's making an Easter album or Easter journal. This one has the texture paste through the stencil in the background, some washi tape, some avocado dyed paper, a label, and a tattered flower. This one has a label sticker or ticket sticker, and the texture paste in the background, a piece of lace through here, also got some washi there. We've got die cut leaves here in a pearlised gold cardstock, and we have one of those little dangles that is created from a label with an eyelet put in it, and this one I've put an eyelet in the actual tag as well, and then I've attached the two of them with some this natural twine from Uniquely Creative, and then of course the label, as you saw earlier, I've covered that with the Glossy Accents. This is another one that's got a little tag on it. Now this one, all of the others, I've used the ring reinforcers, these things that I bought from Paper Inspirations. This one's got the little tag, the red tag, and on the circle itself I've done the ink through the stencil on the background, avocado dyed paper, bit of washi tape in behind there, a tag, and a die cut leaf, and a little floral embellishment which is part of a doily, and then we've got the tag there, which is once again attached with the twine, the Uniquely Creative twine. This one is, oh, I didn't cut the strings off of that. Probably didn't cut them off the one before that either. Let's have a look. There they are. Okay, so this one, I think I did that one. This one, I've got a sticker on the background and some washi tape, a ticket there, a postage stamp and a acetate flower, and then I've got the little label with the Glossy Accents attached with some crochet cotton that I've rubbed over with some distress ink, just to take that solid white colour off of it. This one here, we have a piece of, well, we've got some avocado dyed paper here, we've got some washi tape, we've got a little piece of lace behind there, we've got a tag, a stamp and one of those little crocheted flowers, and then we've got one of the Glossy Accent labels attached with a piece of ribbon. Not short enough. This last one, once again we've got the acetate label attached with some black and white baker's twine and of course the ring reinforcers there. I've got a sticker behind here, some washi tape. The background has got the modelling paste through the stencil. I've got a label and a stamp, and then I've got the crocheted or the tattered little doily. That was part of a bigger doily, and that's attached with some baker's twine as well. So they're my 12 artist trading coins. I hope you've enjoyed watching my video, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.